All right, a couple of things. This video does not replace PIYO aligned fundamentals at all. It is meant to be kind of a supplement to that. So you need to go through that disc and study it and learn it and listen to what Shalene and Michelle teaches. They are the experts. I'm a plus size chick on a journey. I'm gonna give you some tips to work with your body through this process. One of the things that I love is that the bodies that she uses, and yes, they don't look anything like mine. I don't know, maybe I look like that underneath all this, but I'm fabulous where I am, and I love the skin I am, where I am today and where I was yesterday and where I'm going to be tomorrow, because our bodies are amazing. So it's really cool. She uses these guys, and they're like human anatomy examples, like if I were in like an anatomy class, and so I can see how the muscles work and things like that. So here's the deal. I don't worry that I don't look like them because I'm the best version of me. You're not supposed to look like them. It doesn't matter if you look like them. It doesn't matter if you got a belly row. You are you, and this is unique for you and your abilities. And be excited and embrace the struggle and embrace the journey, because where you are today is very different than where you're going to be 8 weeks from today, okay? So when you look at the people in the video, those people worked really hard to get to where they are, but they're not you and they're not me. And our journeys are different. We don't know their backstory, so we're gonna celebrate these amazing bodies that they've put together utilizing these programs, so we know what our potential is, but our potential is what we want it to be. It's unique to us. It's not based off of what we see in magazines, in videos, or in anything else that's out there, okay? So let me start by saying that. So I actually really like looking at super fit bodies because I can see how the muscles move, and I can imagine, it helps me better connect how my body is moving through this. I look nothing like them, and I don't care, because I'm the best version of me today, in this moment, in this exercise, in this DVD, standing in front of the video in front of you, which could be very different from yesterday and very different from tomorrow. So I embrace my personal best for today. My tummy used to be down here, and I used to have much larger boobs, and belly used to be about 2 feet larger in my middle. So some of my exercises, I had to accommodate that. So what she really does is she teaches us how to go through that process and to get that stretch. If our stretch is here, and we can feel it in the part she's explaining to us, and even though our tummy and our breasts may be in the way, that's okay as long as you're getting the stretch. So a couple things that I do is, I know that we would like to have our feet together, but sometimes we can't because of our thighs and our calves. That's all right. I do my feet apart, and what that allows me to do, and not too far apart, what that allows me to do is allows my tummy that's here to go between my thighs so I can get a deeper stretch. So if I did it sideways, and if I was going through the motions as she explains, and it got to here, and I think it's about here. Let me just find the spot, okay? So there's my spot, and I'm feeling it very much in my hamstrings. And I followed her instructions in my head, and I'm able to get further because I have my feet apart. That's okay. Put your feet apart if it's going to help you get a deeper stretch. Don't worry if your feet are not together. They will be eventually. And when they are, we're going to celebrate that because it's a fantastic non-scale victory. So I do still utilize a chair, and if I were in a lunge and I'm following her examples, I can utilize this for additional stability, okay? And so when they go through movements where they're switching back and forth and lunges, I'll do several on one side as an example, and then I'll switch and go several the other side. It allows me to get set up in my lunge, stay there, and get through a bunch of reps and then move the other way. That's how I built up over time. I don't worry about trying to keep up on speed. It is not about keeping up on speed. Often you'll find yourself going at least half time, and that's okay. You're still getting a sweat, you're still getting a workout. So utilize a sturdy chair to help you gain your balance. And what I do is I make sure that when I'm in a lunge, that I feel absolutely nothing in my knee, no matter how deep I get and how much I use my chair or I don't. And some days I need it and some days I don't. I'm in a position in utilizing my legs that I don't feel it in my knees at all. So if your lunge starts it up here, and I love that she has you put both hands over here, that allows you to square up your hips. And if this is your lunge to start with, that's okay. Take a video of it because eventually you'll be down lower. So when she gets further down about the low lunges, I'll sometimes utilize my yoga blocks. So I'm just going to head down into a low lunge. So if I'm in a low lunge, I may put this here just for stability. And as I progress, I might turn it this way because I can maybe get down lower, and then maybe this way, which I'm not at that point yet. But I do utilize the yoga blocks to help me with stability, and they're really inexpensive, and I get a deeper lunge. Another thing you do is just get on your knees. I do this one a lot. I'll get on my knees for those because I'm really trying to stretch, and I try to put my knee back as far as I can. I'm really looking to get that stretch. So if my knee is down, that's okay too, and I can still utilize my yoga blocks to get a little deeper. On my YouTube channel, you're gonna find a video that's called Plus Size Plank. I'm gonna ask you to listen to what Shalene has to say, and I'm also gonna ask you to go back and watch that video that I do with Amanda Middleman. And it teaches you how to plank as a plus size woman. What I wanna teach you right now is when you're doing the tricep push-ups, I don't want you to worry about whether you can get very deep or not. And there'll be the other discs, I'll show you how I utilize the chair as well too. But what I want you to understand here is when you're following her example and she's telling you to utilize your triceps and your hands in the right place, and if you can only get down this far and come back up, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, and that's your slow, and you're only going down that far, you will build up your triceps over time. It's okay if you can't get super deep, but it's not expected of you to be able to get deep. I couldn't get deep for a long time, but I'll tell you, this is the fastest I've built my triceps, is with PIYO. So now, when I go down and I follow her instructions again, I'm actually gonna watch how far down I get. And I can hold it at 255 pounds and then come back up. But I started here. And as I got further and as I progressed, I can go down now slow. Then I can push up. I'm still working on my form. I still have to remind myself to engage my core, but I started with barely being able to get very deep in my triceps, and that built up my triceps over time to be able to see me do what I'm doing there. Am I in a full plank yet? Nope. Do I care? Nope. That's my goal. I'll eventually get there. I'm going to embrace this moment. I'm going to embrace how far I actually just saw myself come on the video. I haven't actually seen myself do that yet. The last I remember was taking very, very small tricep moves, so you can celebrate that moment with me as well. That's really, really an exciting non-scale victory. So when I do the upward facing dog, for example, and I love that she shows if you're only here versus fully extended. Imagine that I'm on the floor. This again will build up that strength that you need to get there. Just keep engaged. Just practice engaging your core in the way that I described to you. Practice building your core with that plank video that I shared with you earlier. You will get to the point, again, the best part about being where you are right now is the amazing progress you're going to see in your ability. Your body is capable of so much more than your mind is allowing you to do, and you're going to learn through this group how to push through all that. But in the meantime, I'm okay with if your chaturanga looks like this right now. That's all right, because eventually you're going to be like crazy flexible in your spine, and we're going to be able to see what it looked like when you started and what you look like afterwards. Progress photos and videos are my everything, and as you know, I share a lot about that online. So when it comes to downward facing dog, which is the thing that you look like a tent, is the best way I can explain it. If you have to keep your legs apart to accommodate your tummy and your knees bent, that's okay. You can do that on the floor. If you start feeling pressure in your wrists, it typically means that your wrists lack flexibility. And I realized that, and I thought I was having wrist issues, and it really was just lack of flexibility. And so I'll warm up my wrists and things like that, and that's made a big difference. So if you're not ready to do downward facing dog on the floor, you can utilize a chair or something else that's sturdy. You're using less percentage of your body weight the further up you are. And I'll post in the group about that as well in greater detail. So if you were doing downward facing dog, and this is a sturdy chair, and I'm here, and I'm pushing back, that's okay. This is where you're starting. Eventually you'll get down to the floor, but what I love the chair for is that you'll notice in some of the further DVDs as well too. So if I'm here, and I'm pushing my hips back, as she describes, and now I'm ready to lift my leg, maybe I'll move forward. And now I'm ready to lift my leg as an example. Here I am. Okay. Now I'm ready to lift my leg, and I can only lift it this high. That's okay, as long as you have good form. It's not about getting up here. It's about getting as high up as you can. So eventually, I'll have great form and be able to do this on the floor and be able to come up here. So let's say you're eventually building up and you're at this point, and the part she talks about opening up your hip as an example. You can do that from the chair and then come back down. So if you're starting here and then you eventually get here, that's progress in strength, okay? So don't be afraid to utilize a sturdy chair, a sturdy couch back. Just make sure it's sturdy. I cannot stress that enough.